Okay, Assalamu alaikum. Hope everyone's okay. I'm just gonna start. If they join later on, anyone, inshallah, we'll just get them included. I hope everyone had a nice holiday last week off. Is there any questions regarding the previous lessons? If you don't ask me, then I'll ask you questions. No questions? Okay, okay. Brother Amin, can you tell me, I'm gonna draw something and you have to tell me why this is full mouth or empty mouth. If it's full mouth or empty mouth, whichever, and why is it, yeah? Wait, let me just get a big pen. Yeah. Ta kasra 3. Brother Amin, if he is full mouth, why is it full mouth? If he is empty, why is he empty?
Assalamu alaikum, Ustad. It's basically a full math letter, so it's one of the full math letters, so regardless if it's got a kasra at the bottom, it will always be a full math letter.
MashaAllah, MashaAllah, very good. Yeah, even though it's a kasra, but because this is a permanent full math letter every time, so regardless whatever it has, it's always going to be full math. MashaAllah. Next person is Brother Farhan. Is it Brother Farhan? Yeah, Brother Farhan. Imran. Yeah. I'm going to ask you, Brother Fahim joined as well. Yes, just a second. Assalamu alaikum, Brother Fahim. Okay. I'm just going to ask a few questions and then we'll go ahead. Imran, it's got a fatha before it.
Yeah.
What is it? Full mouth or empty mouth?
This is full mouth.
Why?
Because there's a fatha, the zabur.
Okay. If I put a zer before it?
Then it's empty mouth.
Okay, mashallah. Brother Kibriya, assalamu alaikum. You didn't come last lesson, but I'm sure you watched the videos. So let me just ask you. This is a ghain. This is a ghain with a kasra. So a letter ghain with a kasra. Are we gonna make it full mouth or empty mouth? This is better. Ghain with a kasra. Brother Kibriya. Assalamualaikum. Okay. The letter ghain with a kasra, full mouth or empty mouth?
So I think ghain is one of the full mouth letters.
MashaAllah, yeah.
So again, it goes similar to.
But it's got a kasra.
I thought all the full mouth letters.
Yeah. No. Yeah, you're right. I just said it's got a kasra just to see if you change your mind. But you don't. Yeah, it's okay. Always full. It's always full mouth. Because some letters. Sorry.
No. I was saying when I was reading it, I think the only ones are ra, and I think ra with the full mouth if it has a fatha and a dhamma.
Yeah.
And if it's got a kasra, then it's not. I think so. Something.
Yeah, and yeah, mashallah. Ra and Allah. Ra and the word Allah. This word, if they have a kasra before it, it's empty. If they have a fatha or dhamma, it's full. Okay, mashallah. Okay, let me just ask Brother Fahim one question, and inshallah we'll start today's lesson. Brother Fahim, this one, kha. So in this question, this alif, even though the alif doesn't make a sound, but would it be full mouth or would it be empty mouth? How would we judge what alif is?
It's the I would read it as a. Good question. I would read it as a full mouth letter because isn't it one of the
Yeah.
Is it Hamza?
Because the letter before is a full mouth letter, Alif will automatically be full mouth, even though it doesn't make a sound.
Yeah.
But it'll automatically be full mouth.
Yeah.
If the letter before was the empty mouth letter, if the letter before was a empty mouth letter like sin alif fatha sa, alif will automatically be empty mouth. Okay, mashallah, mashallah everyone.
Yeah.
Let's start today's lesson, inshallah. Okay, so we have covered. Okay, so we have covered the permanent every time full mouth letters. We've covered the 3 sometimes full mouth letters. One of them was ra, one of them was alif, empty alif, one is the lam in the word Allah, and one is ra. We've done alif and lam in detail. We've done ra, but ra can come in 3 different forms, yeah? Okay, we just covered one. I'm just going to cover the second one. The second one is exactly the same as the first one. So we've done alif. Okay, so ra, can everyone see this? Okay, the ra can come like this. Ra can come with a okay. The ra can come with a fatha, kasra, dhamma. We've covered that, yeah. These 2 are full, and this one is empty. The middle one, the one with the kasra, is empty, yeah. The blue one is empty, so that's done. Now, what about if ra comes with 2 fatha, 2 kasra, or 2 dhamma? There's a lot of places in the Quran. Okay, ra comes with 2 fatha, 2 dhamma, 2 kasra. Exact same rule as single fatha. A single fatha makes it full, 2 fatha will make it full. A single dhamma makes it full. If ra has 2 dhamma, it'll be full as well. And if ra has a single kasra, the way you would read it empty just by reading one kasra. A ra with 2 kasra is also empty. Is that clear?
Yeah.
This is quite straightforward. Okay, and there is no other option. You can never get a ra with 3 fatha. You can't get ra with 3 fatha, 3 kasra, 3 dhamma. Minimum, you'll get 1 fatha, 1 of each or 2 of each. Okay, maximum is 2 of each. Okay, mashallah, that's done. So this is what I just read now is this place. This rule also applies with tanween. Tanween, who can tell me what tanween is? Who knows what tanween is? Tanween, this word.
Is it the vowels, double the vowels? Doubled
up, yeah, when the vowels are doubled. So 2 fatha, 2 kasra, 2 dhamma is tanween. Okay, mashallah. What if they are single vowels? What do you call them? 1, 1, 1. What do you call them? They call haraka. Okay, haraka. You can say hara and kaf with a ha, or in English you can say hara, K-A-H, haraka, yeah? Haraka, or in Bengali they say harkat, whatever you want to say it. As long as you know the meaning, I'm okay with it, yeah? So tanween is double vowel and haraka is single vowel, mashallah. Okay, yes.
Sorry. So you were saying, so like the examples of the ra, when the haraka,
yeah. So
you feel a full mouth.
Yeah.
So when it has the tanween, how would you say it then? So let's say imrin.
Amrin. It's not. Do you know in Amrin Salamun? In Inna Anzalnahu fi Laylatil Qadr wa ma adraka ma, that surah Qadr. So normally you're going to stop here because this is the end of a verse, okay? But imagine you want to carry on. You will say Amrin Salamun. Amrin Salamun. تنزل الملائكة والروح فيها بإذن ربهم من كل أمر سلام. No Amrin. Amrin Salamun, yeah?
So you won't say it will be empty mouth, isn't it?
It would be empty mouth because it's got 2 kasra.
Yeah, okay.
I'm not sure if you can see the 2 kasra, but this Amrin does have 2 kasra, yeah? Now, if I want to say this 2 dhamma, imagine there's another place in the Quran, it might have 2 dhamma. I would say Amrun wa huwa. Amrun, ra, not ra. Okay? So it's the exact same as the single vowels. Fatha and dhamma full mouth, double fatha, double dhamma full mouth. Single kasra empty, double kasra empty as well. Yeah?
Yeah, I just wanted to hear how it sounded.
Okay, yeah, okay. Amrin, okay. Any other questions, or should we and we've got, let me just clear this. Okay, Okay, this rule also applies with tanween. So I've done tanween. Shadda, the same thing as well. So imagine for this rule also applies with ra with a shadda. I'm reading this part. Okay, so ra with the shadda. Let me just give you an example. My writing is not good. Let me just clear this. Sharri. Okay. Do you know in قُلْ أَعُوذُ بِرَبِّ الْفَلَقِ مِنْ شَرِّ مَا خَلَقَ وَمِنْ شَرِّ غَاسِقٍ إِذَا وَقَبَ. Now, this ra, it doesn't have a single vowel. It's got a single vowel, but it's got a shadda on it. So what do we do? Exact same rule happens. Okay. If he has a kasra, it's going to be min sharri ma khalaq wa min sharri ghasiqin. If you had a fatha, sharran yara. If you go to Surah إِذَا زُلْزِلَ إِذَا زُلْزِلَتِ الْأَرْضُ زِلْزَالَهَا وَأَخْرَجَتِ الْأَرْضُ أَثْقَالَهَا. If you go further down, end of the surah, فَمَنْ يَعْمَلْ مِثْقَالَ ذَرَّةٍ خَيْرًا يَرَهُ وَمَنْ يَعْمَلْ مِثْقَالَ ذَرَّةٍ شَرًّا يَرَهُ. So we're not going to say sharrain because we have fatha at the end of Surah Zilzal. We're going to say sharran yara, rain, ra, not ra. Yeah, clear? I can. If you
explain that again, sorry.
Okay. We've done ra with one vowel, fatha, kasra, dhamma. We've done ra with two vowels. Yeah. Now if a ra comes with a shadda, what happens? Okay. Now there's a ra here. The first letter is a shin, and the next letter is got a it's a ra with a shadda and a kasra. What do we do? Do we make it empty mouth or do we make it full mouth?
Empty mouth.
Yeah. Why I'm saying, because can you remember I told you shadda is like this? What is shadda like? Shadda is like this. Imagine there's two ra. Yeah. Is my writing clear? Wait, let me just take this off. So shadda, if a letter has a shadda, it's actually two letters merged into one. So this sharri, if I have to write it properly, it would be like this. Shin, ra, fatha, shar, ra, and ra, kasra, ri. Sharri, yeah? Is that clear?
Yes.
Yeah. But if you look at it now, can you see the first ra is a sakin and the letter before it's got a fatha. So what is that ra meant to be?
Full mouth.
It's meant to be full mouth, but don't worry. If you break it, it's meant to be the first ra is meant to be full mouth, the second ra is meant to be empty mouth, but it's going to be very hard for you to merge two ra's together. Read the first one full mouth because it's got a fatha before it, and read the second one empty mouth because it's got a kasra. So we just look at whatever the ra has with the shadda. We don't break it up. So let me just simplify it. Sharri. What would we do with this ra? Would we make it full or empty? We'll make it empty because the ra itself, the shadda itself has a kasra. Is that okay? So in Surah Falaq, قُلْ أَعُوذُ بِرَبِّ الْفَلَقِ مِنْ شَرِّ مَا خَلَقَ مِنْ شَرِّ. We don't say min sharri. We don't say sharri. Even though it's meant to be a sakin with a fatha before, we don't look at it like that. We just look at it plain. This ra has a shadda and the shadda has a kasra underneath. So it's going to be sharri. Okay?
Would it be incorrect? Say like
Sorry?
that then? Would it be incorrect if we said it with the full mouth first part?
Yeah,
and the...
it's going to be incorrect because this is shadda. Shadda is more powerful. Later on, I'll tell you why shadda is more powerful than sakin. Okay? Shadda is more powerful because shadda you read it two times. That's why in the Quran, if there's a letter like this, imagine there's a ta, dal, and ta. Imagine, yeah. So ta catches the dal, but the ta has a shadda. So imagine there's in the Quran, there's something like the ta has a fatha and the dal has a sakin. Okay, but the next letter after dal is a shadda. What do we do with the letter with the sakin? We ignore it. So we don't read the dal at all. Ta catches the ta straight away, because the dal can't catch ta because the dal is dependent. Yeah. So we just cross the letter with we just ignore the letter with the sakin. I'll try to get example end of the lesson. There is a lot of examples from the Quran. I'll try to get example from the Quran. If not, I have to find it and I'll get it next week. So if there's a sakin and a shadda, so the first letter is a sakin, the next letter is a shadda, we ignore the letter with the sakin. And we read the letter with the shadda. There's a lot of places in the Quran like that. Yeah, this would be incorrect. Reading this ra full math, it would be incorrect in this place because it's got a shadda. But if he didn't have a shadda and it was only a sakin, we read it full math. Is that clear? I didn't want to make it complicated. Let's just keep it simple, okay? We just look at the shadda. We just look at the shadda, okay? So if the shadda has a fatha, we don't care what's before that. We don't care about this. If the shadda's got a kasra, we don't care what's before this. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay. So we've done 3 ras. We've done ra with the fatha kasra dhamma, ra with the single vowel. We've done ra with the double vowel, and we've done ra shadda. Okay, ra with the shadda. What's left? What do you think is going to be left? Because ra comes in 5 forms, okay? We've done 3, alhamdulillah. Ra with single, ra with double, and ra with shadda. The 4th one is this one. Ra with the sakin. Okay? So what would, oh yeah, sorry. Do you know when I explained sharri and I said sakin, I didn't teach you that yet. Okay, let's read, what if a ra has a sakin? So you're reading Quran, now there's a ra with a sakin. What do I do? Now sakin, do I make it full mouth? Do I make it empty mouth? What do I do? When ra has a sakin, when there's a ra with a sakin and the letter before has a fatha or dhamma, you would read the ra with full mouth, like this example. Can you see Maryama? Now the ra is a sakin. I can't make my mind up. What do I do? You will look at the letter before. If the letter before has a fatha or a dhamma, okay, you would read it full mouth. If the letter before has a kasra, you would read the empty mouth. So in the first example is Maryama wadhkur. So I've got a fatha example. This is the fatha example, and this is the dhamma example. Kur, can you see? Wadhkur. On the other side, if the ra is a sakin and the letter before has a kasra, I would read it empty. That's clear, yeah? That's basically all the ra. I'm just explaining each scenario. Otherwise, if I say every time ra, if he's got a fatha or dhamma, it's full mouth. If he's got a kasra, it's empty mouth. Then you can say, what if he's got a shadda? What if he's got a sakin? What if you're stopping on the ra and you put a temporary sakin? What do you do? Okay, so there is so many scenarios. We've done 4. Let's just stick to these. There are more scenarios. There's when you stop on a ra, what do you do? Do you look at the? So imagine. Let me just give you an example. I'm not going to teach that now, but we'll teach that in the next module or the last module because it gets a bit detailed. I want you to master this, and inshallah we'll do so. Khabirun. Okay. Inna rabbahum bihim yawma idhil khabir in Surah Al-Adiyati dhabha. There's a lot of khabir. It's the name of Allah, Al-Khabiru. So what do you do here? Even though the ra has 2 dhamma, when you stop, it becomes a sakin. What do you do? Okay, so you have to. There's different ruling for that. Inshallah, we'll do those rules next lesson. Not next lesson, module 3 or module 4 when we have extra time. For now, we've learned 4 scenarios. 1 is fatha kasra dhamma. 2 is 2 fatha 2 kasra 2 dhamma. The 3rd scenario was shadda. The 4th scenario was sakin. Sorry, it's not letting me. Sakin, yeah. The 4th scenario is sakin. Is that clear with everyone, or is there any questions?
No, that's fine with me.
Brother Fahim, brother Farhan, brother Kibriya, and brother Amin. Is that okay?
Yes, that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's just keep it simple. Ra, the Ra itself, if he's making a sound, if he's got a fatha dhamma, it's full mouth. If he's got a kasra, it's empty mouth. If the Ra doesn't make a sound, we look at the letter before. If the letter before, when doesn't a Ra make a sound? When it's got a Sakin. So we look at the letter before. If the letter before has a fatha or dhamma, it's full. If it's got a kasra, it's empty. Okay? We're happy to move on. Okay. Okay, let me just take this off. Okay, more details of the letter Ra. Inshallah, I will cover that in module 3 or 4 whenever I've got some time. As long as you master these, it's good. You've learned about 90% of Ra. There's about 10%. There's no point reading it now and making it more complicated. Okay, now let's go to the next subject. Is everyone okay with full mouth and empty mouth? Because full mouth and empty mouth is done now. We're not going to do no more full mouth. There's 7 full mouth letters. The rest of the 23 are empty. From those 23, there are 3 which are sometimes full, sometimes empty. Can Brother Farhan tell me one of those?
So what was the question?
There's 7 permanent full mouth letters.
Yeah.
3 of them are sometimes full, sometimes empty, depending on the situation. Yeah.
Okay.
Name me any one.
So lam in the word Allah.
MashaAllah. Brother Kibriad, another one.
Ra.
MashaAllah. And Brother Amin, one more.
It was Alif.
MashaAllah. MashaAllah. Very good. Very good. Okay. I'm going to ask Brother Fahim this question. If someone doesn't make Ra full mouth, imagine you were meant to make a Ra full mouth, but someone didn't make the Ra full mouth and they made the empty mouth. Does that become a big mistake, a major mistake or minor mistake?
I think it's a minor mistake.
Yeah, it's a minor mistake. It doesn't change the meaning. The only time it'll change the meaning is with the permanent full mouth letters, okay? Because imagine these, if you change one of these, and this is meant to be full, but you made it empty, it becomes a kaf, meaning change. This becomes a sin. This becomes a dal. So these 7 full mouth letters, if you change it, it will be a major mistake. You know the other 3, Allah, Alif, and Ra. If you make an empty to full, full to empty, we should not. We should try our best not to, because we'll still get sin, but we wouldn't get, our namaz wouldn't break, our salah wouldn't break. Okay, we'll still get sin because of neglecting the rule, how Quran was revealed to Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. We'll still get sin, but the good thing is our namaz wouldn't break. We shouldn't do it purposely. Okay, that's good. So from now, all the rules we're going to do slowly. These are all rules for minor mistakes. So all the major mistake rules we've done it. Makharij, how to pronounce each letter. You don't pronounce it properly, namaz broken because you made a very big mistake. After that, we've done Alif fatha, Alif kasra, Alif dhamma, Zobar zer pesh, 2 zobar 2 zer 2 pesh, 2 fatha 2 dhamma 2 kasra. If you don't know how to the actual sound, it can change the sound of the letter, which can change the meaning. These are serious mistakes, okay? And after that, we've done one more. Sorry, we've done one more before that. Okay. What we'll do now is there was another thing we've done. I forgot. But anyway, from now, majority of the rules we're going to do, these are all for minor mistakes. Okay, your namaz wouldn't break, but constantly doing it, you will be sinful because you're changing the way Quran was revealed. Okay, who knows what qalqala is?
Yeah, it's when the letter, like, it has like a bounce to it, like it's like an echoing sound.
Okay, do you know how many letters?
I think qaf, there's I think there's ba.
Yeah, mashallah.
Is there another one? Tabbat.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, let's just do it. Qalqala, mashallah. Qalqala means when you bounce your voice. Okay, when you bounce the sound of the letter. Okay, there are 5 letters which you do 𝗃𝗃𝗃 in. 𝗃𝗃𝗃 means to make a bouncing or echoing sound on a letter when pronouncing it, instead of smooth and immediate stop. So like, you know, when you read قُلْ أَعُوذُ بِرَبِّ النَّاسِ, done. مَلِكِ النَّاسِ إِلَهِ النَّاسِ, we just stop. But when you go to the next surah, قُلْ أَعُوذُ بِرَبِّ الْفَلَقِ مِنْ شَرِّ مَا خَلَقَ, can you hear? It's like a very light echoing or bouncing sound. It's like bounce. قُلْ أَعُوذُ بِرَبِّ الْفَلَقِ مِنْ شَرِّ مَا خَلَقَ وَمِنْ شَرِّ غَاسِقٍ إِذَا وَقَبَ. But if you go to قُلْ أَعُوذُ بِرَبِّ النَّاسِ, قُلْ أَعُوذُ بِرَبِّ النَّاسِ, مَلِكِ النَّاسِ, إِلَهِ النَّاسِ, the sound stops. That's what it is. قُلْ هُوَ اللَّهُ أَحَدٌ اللَّهُ الصَّمَدُ, like that. So that's what 𝗃𝗃𝗃 is. You don't do 𝗃𝗃𝗃 on every letter, you only do 𝗃𝗃𝗃 on 5 letters. Those 5 letters are mentioned here. Qaf is the first one. قُلْ أَعُوذُ بِرَبِّ الْفَلَقِ. Ta is the other one. Ba Jim Dal. Qaf Ta Ba Jim Dal. I want everyone to memorize these letters. Okay, I'm going to ask you inshallah next week. And I'm going to tell everyone to find an example from the Quran. And you can just write down on your notebook, on a piece of paper. Just write the page number down where you found the example, and and bring it. Okay, so it can be Surah Yasin or the Surah Mujadala, the one we're doing on the 28th juz, or it can be your daily surahs like إِذَا وَقَعَتِ الْوَاقِعَةُ or Friday Surah Kahf, wherever you want to look for it. Just try to find an example of one of each. So one for Qaf, one for Ta, one for Ba, one for Jim, one for Dal. You've got 7 days. So on Monday, on Friday tomorrow, concentrate on Qaf. Saturday, Sunday, Ba, Dal, and okay. Now, when do you do 𝗃𝗃𝗃? Do you always do 𝗃𝗃𝗃? So imagine there's a Qaf with a Fatha. Would I do 𝗃𝗃𝗃 on a Qaf with a Fatha? No. It has to have a Sakin. If these letters have a Sakin, I would bounce my voice. If they don't have a Sakin, I wouldn't. So take for example Surah Falaq. If you look at Surah Qul A'udhu Birabbil Falaq, the first letter is a Qaf, Qul, but it doesn't have a Sakin, it's got a Dhamma. I wouldn't bounce my voice. A'udhu Birabbil Falaq, the last letter does have a Sakin, I would bounce my voice. Yeah. So the condition for you to bounce your voice or bounce the sound of the letter is one of these 5, they have to have a Sakin. Okay. I'm sure everyone knows what Sakin is. Sakin is when the letter itself doesn't make any sound. It needs the help from the letter before. Okay. Like this. Ad. Okay. If I take this alif off, if I take the alif off, the dal doesn't make any sound. It's dependent on the letter before. So then I need to bring something before, and then it helps get the sound of the dal out. Ad. Otherwise, if I take this off, dal is useless. It doesn't make any sound. That's what sakin is. Okay. So one of these 5 letters, they need to have a sakin. And then we will read it with the echoing sound. Yes. Now there's 2 types of sakin. There's one sakin which is permanent sakin. Just understand it now roughly, inshallah. Once I'm done with this, I'll go to Quran and I'll explain what a permanent sakin is, what a temporary sakin is. Whether it is a temporary sakin or it's a permanent sakin. What's the difference between both of them? A permanent sakin is the sakin which is always there. Okay, so قُلْ هُوَ اللَّهُ قُلْ هُوَ اللَّهُ أَحَدٌ. This lam, that's a permanent sakin. Whether I stop on that lam or I carry on and I read a'udhu, qul a'udhu, this sakin will always be there. This sakin wouldn't change. Yeah, that's a permanent sakin. A temporary sakin is where the letter itself has maybe 1 fatha, 1 kasra, 1 dhamma, or it's got 2 fatha, 2 kasra, 2 dhamma, whatever it's got. But because you're stopping on the letter, okay, you are making it into a sakin. So قُلْ هُوَ اللَّهُ أَحَدٌ, it would be ahadun. Okay, قُلْ هُوَ اللَّهُ أَحَدٌ, 2 dhamma, and then there's a stopping sign. هُوَ اللَّهُ, sorry, I forgot to say Allahu ahadun. Okay. Let me just write there 2 dhammas again. قُلْ هُوَ اللَّهُ أَحَدٌ. Okay. Now this dal, it doesn't have sakin, it's got two dhamma, it's got double vowel dhamma, yeah? But because I'm stopping on this stopping sign, what do? I make it into a sakin, just because I'm stopping. If I wasn't stopping, I don't do it sakin, I catch the next word. قُلْ هُوَ اللَّهُ أَحَدٌ اللَّهُ الصَّمَدُ. If I carry on. But because I'm stopping, I have to put a temporary sakin there. That's what temporary sakin means. So these 5 letters, even though if they have a permanent sakin or temporary sakin, you would always make it bounce. You will always have a bouncing sound or echoing sound at the end. Is that clear what a temporary and permanent sakin is? When we go to Quran, yeah. I'll explain it to you. When we go to Quran, inshallah, we'll go to Quran in a few minutes time after I explain this. Okay, so example of temporary sakin. Can you see ahadun? I just explained it. Qul huwa Allahu ahadun. It became ahad because we're stopping. An example of permanent sakin is alhamdu. Alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. Alhamdu. So this meme with the sakin will always be sakin, whether we stay, whether we carry on or we stop. Okay, that's the difference between these two sakins. Let's go to the next page and see what's there. Okay, note. If the last letter has a shadda on it, there will still be a qalqala, but after pronouncing the shadda, it's going to be a stronger qalqala. Okay, qalqala has so many types: strong, medium, and thing. But let's just keep it simple. Normal, if they have a sakin, we'll make it qalqala. But if they have a shadda, we're just going to make it extra bit stronger. So we're going to say tabbat yada abi lahabin wa tab, like that. We're going to say, after we catch it, we're going to have that but sound. Okay, the sound of the ba again. That's only if they have a shadda at the end. If they don't have a shadda, then it's going to be قُلْ هُوَ اللَّهُ أَحَدٌ. But if they have a shadda, it's going to be وَتَبَّ. Is that clear? Is that okay with qalqala, or do you want me to go over anything? Should we do some practical example?
Can you just go back to that previous slide? Because when you said that, I'm still a bit confused about the temporary and the permanent one.
Yeah, temporary, permanent. Permanent one is okay. Let's just go to Quran. If I go to Quran, everything's going to be clear, inshallah. Where's my Quran? Oh, how come it's not working? Okay. For some reason, I don't know why my PDF, they mess around. So this one's not working as well. Okay. Does anyone know why? When I make these slides on Microsoft Word and then I make it PDF, sometimes it doesn't work on a lot of time it doesn't work on my tablet, iPad. I don't know why. Does anyone know why? Look, it's not working. Anyway, I've got some pictures from the Quran.
Where have you saved your PDF? Have you saved it on the tablet? Have you saved it on the cloud?
I've saved it on a file.
But is it on like your Google Drive, or is it actually on the tablet?
It's not on the Google Drive. It's on my tablet. It's saved on my tablet. It's saved on my tablet. It's okay. I'll just work on that later. It's like every week I have this problem. One of my PDF doesn't work. I don't know why, but nothing to worry about. I've got Quran pictures saved, so it's okay. Okay, this is good. Okay, can everyone see this?
Yeah.
Can everyone see this? Okay. Yeah. So we will do temporary sakin and permanent sakin for qalqala. Okay. Okay. Bismillah. Let's start. Let me get the red pen. Okay. Okay. وَالْعَادِيَةِ ضَبْحَ. Am I going to make this qalqala? Qaf. Wait. And before I do this, let me just write all the qalqala letters on top, so it's easy. Qaf, ta, ba, Jim, Dal. So when I ask you questions, you can just look on top, and remember they all need to have a Sakin. So I'll write Sakin as well. Okay. So والعاديات ضبحا. ضبحا قلقلة, yes or no? Yes, there is qalqala. There is qalqala. Okay, so what kind of sakin is that? Is that a permanent sakin or temporary sakin?
That's a permanent sakin.
That's a permanent, because whether I stop on dabha or I say dab or whatever I do, this sakin is not changing. Okay, if the sakin changes into a fatha, then the meaning changes. Okay, فَالْمُورِيَاتِ قَدْحًا. What about this one?
Permanent.
I chose a good surah because it's got khalkhala in every verse, mashallah. Oh, qadha, mashallah. فَالْمُغِيرَاتِ الصُّبْحَ. Again. فَأَثَرْنَ بِهِ نَقْعًا. What about this one? Qaf. These are all permanent. فَوَسَّطْنَا. These are all permanent. Okay? These are all permanent sakin. They're not temporary sakin. But we are going to come to a temporary sakin now. From now, all the verses, they have temporary sakin. Okay, let me just tell you one more thing. Do you know the letter Jim? Is that in Khalkhala? Brother Kibriya?
Yeah.
Okay, okay. Then should we not do Khalkhala here on this Jim? This Jim?
Is it? I thought Khalkhala is usually at the end, isn't it? Or
okay, who can answer me why we would or why we wouldn't do Khalkhala on this Jim?
You wouldn't, because you have to have a sakin on top.
Remember Sakin. It doesn't have to be at the end. Because this wasn't at the end. This wasn't at the end. It was towards the end, but it doesn't always have to be at the end. It can be in the middle. It can be at the... when you read Quran, you will see sometimes the first letter, it would be Khalkhala. Second letter, okay? It's not about having it at the end. It's about having a Sakin. Let's make this as strong color as we can, okay?
So, quick question. You see, when it will be at the end is basically when you want to stop, and that's when you have to make
temporary. That's the temporary.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So we come into now. So all these previous 5 verses, they were permanent. Now we come to the temporary sakin. Okay. Now innal insana li rabbihi lakanud. What does the dal have here? Permanently, what does he have? Like, no, not permanently. Originally, what does he have?
Two
dhamma. But because I'm stopping, what do I do?
Turn it to a
I make
sakin.
it into a sakin. So as soon as I make it into a sakin, it becomes a temporary sakin. I have to do khalkhala. Innal insana li rabbihi lakanud. But if I don't want to stop, I can carry on. لَكَنُودٌ وَإِنَّهُ عَلَى ذَلِكَ لَشَهِيدٌ وَإِنَّهُ لِحُبِّ الْخَيْرِ لَشَدِيدٌ. So when I'm carrying on, I don't do khalkhala because it doesn't have a sakin. When I stop, that's when all of them have a sakin and I have to do khalkhala. Is that clear?
Yeah.
So
that makes sense now.
So the last 3 are temporary. The first 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, they're permanent. Is that okay?
Yeah, I actually never learned the permanent one. I didn't realize there was a permanent one.
That's why it's best. That's why it's best to always go back to the Quran and do it practically. Then everything opens up.
Okay.
Yeah.
As didn't know about the permanent and then there was the temporary one. I taught the F1.
Okay. All right then. Is that okay? Should we do another? Should we do something else, or shall I just open Quran and tell everyone to read one? But actually, let's do a few more rules, and then inshallah, because we have a lot to cover yet. Okay. Let's do empty mouth. We done this. Okay. Noon and Mim. There's 2 letters in the Quran. If they have a shadda, the letter Noon and the letter Mim. If they have a shadda, we will always do gunna. I explained gunna to you when we're doing makhraj of khayshu, makhraj of the nose. Okay. What is gunna? Gunna is when you take the sound to your nose and then you bring it back. So you say inna. You don't say inna. So innal insana li rabbihi lakanud. I'm going to go back to those slides and I'll explain it to you. I'll go back to the Quran again. I'll explain it to you. So when noon, okay, noon and mim with a shadda. The rule, noon shadda and mim shadda will always be read with gunna. We have to do gunna. We can't say imma, inna. We have to say imma, amma, anna. Take the sound to the nose, okay? What is gunna? Who knows what gunna is? Gunna is gunna. Gunna for the sound to come out from your nose. The duration of gunna is 2 seconds long. We can do 1 second, 2 seconds, or open a finger, open a closed finger, or close an open finger, whatever you want, okay? Maximum 2 seconds. Don't make it too long. So what are the examples? The examples are inna, amma. There's so much. Let's go back to the Quran and I'll explain it to you from the Quran, inshallah. I'm not here. وَالْآدِيَاتِ فَالْمُورِيَاتِ قَدْحًا. Yeah, this one. Okay, where you go? وَالْآدِيَاتِ ضَبْحًا. Yes, okay. Now, if you can everyone see the last 3 verses here? 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
So when we read this, we don't say innal insana. We don't say innal insana. We have to say innal insana. But this is something else, okay? Inna wa innahu ala dhalika wa innahu li hubbil khayri. That's what gunna is. These are the example of noon. The example of mim is like فأما اليتيم فلا تقهر وأما السائل فلا تنهر وأما بنعمة ربك فحدث. If everyone can just give me a moment, let me just go and take a picture of that surah, and then so we've done the example of noon, that's clear. Let's do the example of meme. Okay, the example of meme is here. Here. فَأَمَّا الْيَتِيمَ فَلَا تَقْهَرْ. We don't say فَأَمَّا الْيَتِيمَ. فَأَمَّا, no. فَأَمَّا, gunna. وَأَمَّا السَّائِلَ فَلَا تَنْهَرْ. وَأَمَّا. Can you see? We done the noon in Surah Al-Adiyat, now we're doing mim. Is that okay? Is that clear for everyone?
Yeah.
Okay, brother Kibriya. This ra, full or empty? This ra.
Full.
MashaAllah. Yajidika. Okay, brother Imran.
Yeah.
We do a rule here. What do we do? Khalqala. Why?
It's, let me just try and remember. It's a you know, the letter or the Khalqala letters.
Which letter? Which letter are we? Because in my circle there's 4 letters. MashaAllah. Dal with a sakin. MashaAllah. Brother Amin, let me see what I can ask you. أما السائل فلا تنهر وأما بنعمة ربك فحدث ولا يعطيك ربك. Okay. In this circle, I want this word, Rabbika. What do we do here? Is there any rule we apply here? So far from what we learned. Brother Amin.
Yeah, yes, that you have to bounce that bar.
No. The ra doesn't have a the bar doesn't have a sakin. The bar needs to have a sakin.
Okay.
It needs to have a sakin. It needs to have a sakin. Okay. What would you do with the letter ra? Full mouth, empty mouth.
It'll be a full mouth.
MashaAllah. MashaAllah, yeah. That's what I was talking about. The ra. There's one more person left, brother Fahim, yeah. Brother Fahim. وَلَسَوْفَ يُعْطِيكَ رَبُّكَ فَتَرْضَى Alam yajidka. Okay. In this box, in this circle, and from all the rules we've learned, can you tell me there's two things we're going to do here? What are those two things?
It's the ra with the full mouth because of the fatha on the ta and the sakin, and the dad is also a full mouth.
MashaAllah, because it's permanent. MashaAllah, MashaAllah.
Yeah.
Yeah, MashaAllah. Everyone's responding good. Okay, let's go. There's one more rule we're going to do.
You know,
and then, sorry,
it says, you know the shadda with the ba?
Yeah.
Wasn't there a note saying?
Yeah, but that has to be at the end. It has to be at the end. This is in the middle. Yeah. Tab, Rabb. Yeah, it has to be at the end. Like that shadda one, you wouldn't get much in the Quran. There's only few. One is in Tabbat yada abi lahabin wa tabb, and there's one or two more. But it has to be at the end. Okay? It has to be. So if you're stopping on it, then it would happen. But because I didn't plan to stop here, if you're stopping on it, then the rule changes. Okay?
Okay.
If you're stopping on it, because I wasn't planning to stop here, I just wanted to know what's happening in this box.
Okay. So it's just mouth is fine.
Rabbika, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. What was I doing? Yes. I wanted to teach. Is there any questions so far regarding ra or qalqala or noon and mim with shadda? If there's no question, we can go to the next part, inshallah. Okay. The next one is very simple, and that leaves us. If we can do this today, this one, it'll leave us with mud stretching, when to stretch in Quran, when not to stretch, and what's the different types of stretching. And then module 2 should finish, and then inshallah we'll start module 3, which is going to be a bit more intense, not harder, a bit more information to take. And inshallah we'll read Quran at the same time, or we'll do practical, we'll get Quran and we'll show it practically. And then module 4, and then inshallah we should be able to read our salah properly. Okay. Rules of Alif and Hamza. Who knows the difference between Alif and Hamza?
Is it something to do with the vowels, isn't it?
Arka, yeah. So when it's empty, it's an Alif. As soon as this empty Alif starts making a sound, okay, it becomes Hamza. Why does it become Hamza? Let me just zoom into this part so everyone can. Let me just zoom into this part. Okay. So look, rule of Alif and Hamza. When Alif is not empty, when it's not empty and it makes a sound, it becomes a Hamza. When it starts making a sound, can you see all these Alifs? The first one is Alif with a fatha. The second one is Alif with a kasra, fatha, kasra, damma, 2 fatha, 2 kasra, 2 damma, sakin, shadda. All these places, because the Alif starts making a sound, it doesn't stay an Alif anymore. It becomes what? It becomes Hamza. I'll explain to you why is it called Hamza. Okay. And when the Alif is empty, it's Alif. When Alif is empty, it's Alif. Like ba alif fatha ba. Now this Alif is empty. It doesn't make a sound. It's just for the sake of it, yeah, for you to stretch. As soon as it starts making a sound, it doesn't stay an Alif anymore. So it becomes Hamza. Why does it become Hamza? Because it's got, even though it doesn't look like a Hamza, because Hamza looks like a small ayn, or it looks like a small hook, and Alif is a long line. They look totally different, but because the sound is same, that's why we call it Hamza. So Alif fatha a, Alif damma u, Hamza fatha, and Hamza damma. What's the sound of this one, brother Kibriya? Alif fatha. Ah. What about this one, brother Kibriya? Okay, Hamza. Do you know in Qaida or Arabic alphabet, it's the second to last letter. Wow, Hamza, ya. It's this one. And in Arabic alphabet, this is the first letter, Alif bata. So as soon as Alif starts making a sound, it becomes Hamza. Okay? It might not look like Hamza, but it's got the same sound. That's why we call it. How would you read this one then? this circle, how would you read it? This box. Remember, the alif is working. Okay, it's not just for the sake of it. It's got a sakin. So would I say basun or ba'sun?
Ba'sun.
Ba'sun, yes. If it was like, let me just give an example. Let me just take the rest of it off. If it was ba alif and sin damma sun, basun, then I don't read this alif because this alif doesn't have any, it's silent. Okay, I don't read the alif. I read ba alif fatha ba, I make it long and I say sun. But as soon as the alif has something, now it's in use. It's not useless anymore. I don't say ba, I say ba'sun. Yeah? Is that clear? The difference between alif and hamza?
Yeah.
Any questions? Okay. Just before we finish, let's go back to the Quran again. And let's see. فَأَمَّا الْيَتِيمَ فَلَا تَقْهَرْ. Now we can do these ones. Look. Let me get highlighter. Okay. So وَأَمَّا الْيَتِيمَ فَأَمَّا الْيَتِيمَ, these are all Hamza. Can you see? فَأَغْنَى, these are all Hamza. Okay, this is a real Hamza, but this is the alif which turned into a Hamza, this one. Can anyone see a alif? The alif which doesn't have anything and it's just there for the sake of it, like it doesn't make any sound. I'll color them in blue. Okay, so we have one here. The one before the lam. Yeah. We have another one. Sorry, somewhere here. Ula.
Yeah. Oh,
okay. So sorry.
The 10th ayat also goes the next to the
yep. Yatiman, these are all empty alif, yeah, because they don't make a sound. Yeah. So that's the difference between alif and hamza. Hamza makes a sound, alif doesn't make a sound. That's the only difference. And then we've got this one. Okay. Is that okay with everyone?
Yeah.
Any questions? We've got a few minutes.
You know the alif after the meme, would you not class that as the
this one, yatiman.
So what I'm on the last ayah.
Okay.
So
no, this one. Oh, sorry, my pen is gone. 1 second. Yes, this one. This is alif, not a hamza, because it doesn't make a sound. Yeah. So sorry, I forgot to mark it. But this is a hamza. The red one is a hamza because it makes a sound. Yeah. Who asked this question?
Kibriya.
Brother Kibriya. So Brother Kibriya, is this clear now? So the amma, the alif, the hamza on top of the hamza in front of meme, because it's making a sound, it's a hamza. But the alif after meme, the blue one, it's not making any sound. It's just there for you to tell you have to make this word or this letter long. Okay, it doesn't really, yeah. So that's why this will happen. This will happen in all of them, mashallah. Like there's 2 here, there's 2 here. Yeah.
So those 2. So it could be a single alif, or it could be just connected to the letter.
Yeah.
Letters, right? Okay.
Okay. Any more questions? Okay. Whatever we've done today, let's practice those. Qalqala. We've got 5 letters of qalqala. Bouncing sound. What we'll do, inshallah, each day we will concentrate on 1 letter and try to get some examples. Okay, 1 or 2 examples is enough of one example of each letter, but we have to make sure it's a sakin. Okay, if it's not a sakin, we don't do qalqala, we just read the letter. Like qul huwa Allah, the qaf, the first letter I told you, qaf, it doesn't have a sakin, it's got a dhamma. We don't make qalqala. Yeah, so remember it has to have a sakin, number 1. And the next, if we go to the next slide, we've got these two letters, noon and mim. Noon and mim, we will make them gunna if they have a shadda. They need to have a shadda. I've explained it to you in Surah Al-Adiyati, فَأَمَّا الْيَتِيمَ and إِنَّ الْإِنسَانَ. And the last thing we done today was the difference between alif and hamza. Alif is, I don't want to say it, but Alif is like useless. But Hamza it comes and works. So when Alif is working, it becomes a Hamza. When it's not working and it's resting, it's Alif. Okay. That's it for today, inshallah. And if there's any question, I'll take it. If not, we'll just stop it here. And we'll see next Wednesday, inshallah.
You said the 𝗃𝗶𝗀𝗀, or like
yes,
memorizing those 5 letters. Is that what it was for? 𝗃𝗶𝗀𝗀.
𝗃𝗶𝗀𝗀. No, yeah. 𝗃𝗶𝗀𝗀 was for here. And I said in the full math letters. Full math is 𝗃𝗁 ضغط قذ. Full math is 𝗃𝗁 ضغط قذ. Sorry. 𝗃𝗁 ضغط قذ. My writing is not that bad, but it's a tablet, so 𝗃𝗁 ضغط قذ. That's just that's what they do in they just form a word from those letters for us to keep it in our mind easily. So like we done in full math letter, in the 7 full math letters, we done these letters. So we done qaf, sad, dad, ta, dha, kha, and ghain. Okay, so what they done, they just formed it into a word, and this word means something in Arabic. Okay, with qalqala, they done 𝗃𝗶𝗀𝗀. So q, tu, qaf, ta, 𝗃𝗶𝗀𝗀. So if you can't remember, that's a jim and dal. If you can't remember all the single letters, because there's kha, sad, ta, qaf, qaf, sad, ta, kha, ghain in full math, and there's qaf, sad, qaf, ta, ba, jim, dal, and it's easy to get mixed up. Just learn these words. Okay, I'll write those words on the group and I'll send it. It's easy. So if I say what's the letters of qalqala, you can say 𝗃𝗶𝗀𝗀, or you can say qaf, ta, ba, jim, dal. Qaf is here, ta is here, ba is here, jim and dal. 𝗃𝗶𝗀𝗀. That's the word. That's the made up word for this whole group, and this is the made up word for the full math letters. Yeah,
it's a good way to like memorize.
Remember it. Yeah, it's a good way to memorize it. Yeah. Otherwise, this has 2 letters, qaf and ta, which full math letters has as well. So it's easy to get. It's easy to mix it up. Okay, is that okay? I'm gonna send this. I'm gonna send this whole slide, because the slide I sent last week, it wasn't full. It only had 2 lessons. I've done all 4 lessons. I'm gonna send this slide. I'm gonna send 𝗃𝗶𝗀𝗀𝗀 and 𝗃𝗁 ضغط قذ. I'll write it down and send it. And I'm also gonna send another. It's called Tajweed bookmark. It's a bookmark I made. It's like a 2-sided thing. You fold it and you put a sellotape around, and you just leave it in your Quran. What benefit that it does? So it's A4 paper. You just fold it and you just put sellotape around, and you just put it in the Quran. It's like a bookmark, but it's got all the Tajweed rules inside. So you can use it as a bookmark. And imagine you get stuck. Oh, I don't know this Tajweed rule. Instead of coming to the slide and taking your phone out and all that, or going to the book, you can just check on that paper. Oh, it's qalqala. Okay. So I'm going to send that the bookmark as well on the group, inshallah, today. Just print it and just leave inside your Quran. Is that okay for everyone?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. No questions?
No.
Okay. Assalamu alaikum. I'll see you next Wednesday, inshallah. Stay safe. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
Assalam.